So in this video, we'll look at our final chapter, which is chapter 3, power series. So under power series, we have we have three types of expansion of function as power series. So we'll look at Taylor series, Maclaurin series, and binomial series. So we have three series here, which is Taylor series, Maclaurin series, and the binomial series. So in this video, we will concentrate on Taylor series in the power of x minus a. So under Taylor series, so for Taylor series, we will look at two types of expansion. One is in power of x minus a. Another one is in power of x. What is the difference between this? The first one, in power of x minus a, and the second is in power of x. So the difference is we only in the second in power of x. This one means that our our value of a actually is equals to 0. So means that we just substitute this power value of a with 0. So let's look at the first one, in powers of x minus a. Taylor series expansion of the function fx about x is equals to a, or it can write in the form of in powers of x minus a, can be derived as, you can see at this one, fx, which is the question or the function, is equals to fa, means that substitute the value of a into the function fx. So this one we doesn't have to differentiate. Yang ni kita tak perlu differentiate dulu. Pertama sekali fa. Fa ni maksudnya gantikan nilai a ke dalam f. Plus f prime a over 1 factorial times x minus a. So ini adalah differentiate function yang diberi itu. And then we substitute the value of a. Differentiate dulu. Kemudian ganti nilai a. Over 1 factorial. Darab dengan x minus a. So a ni ada nilai dia lah. So a have the value. And the value is given in the question later. So f double prime a means that substitute the value of a into the second derivative over 2 factorial. So how we going to put 1 factorial and 2 factorial? Macam mana kita nak tekan 1 factorial ataupun 2 factorial? So what you have to do is, first use your calculator. You press 1, the value of 1. And then press shift. And then you press the button with the symbol x power of negative 1. So pertama sekali you tekan 1. And then shift. Tekan simbol ni. X kuasa negatif 1 ni. So this is 1 factorial. So when you press enter equal, you'll get 1. So ini sebenarnya per 1 lah. So 2 factorial, same. First press 2. And then shift. And then the button for x power of negative 1. So 3 factorial is 6. 4 factorial is 24. Guna kaedah yang sama. So f double prime a over 2 factorial times x minus a squared plus the third derivative of fx, and then substitute a over 3 factorial x minus a power of 3, and substitute the value of a in the fourth derivative, beza kali keempat, ganti nilai a over 4 factorial, then darab dengan x tolak a kuasa 4. So please remember these terms. Banyak pelajar dia lupa letak yang pertama ni, FA dulu. So beza dia kat sini cuma kita ganti A is 0. So this one is 0 lah. All of this value is 0 in the power of x. Later we will look at the example. So let's look at the first example. Find the Taylor expansion of the function of cos x. In this function means that let fx is equals to cos x. So this is our function. Inilah fungsi kita. In the power of x minus pi. So maksudnya if I let x minus pi is equals to 0, x is equals to pi. In other words, our A actually is equals to pi. So A kita adalah pi, bukan negative pi. Our A is pi. So as far as the third terms, so dia akan bagi tahu sehingga sebutan yang ketiga saja, the third terms. So first, you can see. So what we do is first define the function. First one, tebas, right? First one, let fx is equals to cos x. So this is the first one. Fx is equals to cos x. In this case, and then we let x minus pi is equals to 0. X is pi. So we will substitute the value of pi. Kita akan ganti nilai pi ni. So yang pertama, first step, fx cos x. And then find the value. F pi is equals to cos pi. So by using your calculator, but before that, make sure that our calculator is in the term of radian. Pastikan calculator kita dalam radian. So because cos pi. So how to use the radian? How to choose the radian? Use your calculator, press the mode button. Mode button 1, 2, 3, 4. So press the mode button in the calculator 4 times. Tekan mode ni dalam calculator 4 kali. So choose the second, which is radian. So here is RAD. In your calculator is radian. So make sure that our calculator is in radian. First, you have to make sure your calculator is in radian. And then cos pi. Pi is shift and then exp. So which is the first one, I should get negative 1. So if you still remember, jika you masih ingat, Taylor expansion formula is fx is equals to fa plus f prime a over 1 factorial and then x minus a, this is the first one, plus f double prime a over 2 factorial times x minus a squared plus f triple prime a, means that we have to differentiate 3 times, over 3 factorial x minus a power of 3 plus, this is the fourth derivative, f, this one, over a, fourth derivative of a over 4 factorial x minus a power of 4 and so on. So mungkin akan tanya, so bila akan berhenti? So as far as third terms, dia nak 3 sebutan saja. So in this case, first is, this is first step 1. Substitute the value straightforward. Step 2, and then we have to differentiate f prime x. When we differentiate cos x, we should get negative sine x. And then gantilah f prime pi, which is equals to negative sine pi. Again, make sure your calculator is in radian. Negative sine pi. In this case is 0. And then we continue. Second derivative of x. Here is the negative. Differentiate sine. Negative here. Here is the negative. Ini negative dia. Differentiate sine x. I get cos x. Negative ni sebab kat sini. So then f double prime pi, which is negative cos pi. So using your calculator, negative cos pi. So it's positive 1. So jika you perhati kat sini, ni first term. Sini second term dia, kebetulan dia kosong. So dia bukan kira second term lah. Because this is 0. Dia tak kira second term. So this is our second terms. As far as, in this question, as far as 3 terms. Dia nak 3 sebutan saja. So here, the third derivative of x is equals to, here is the negative. Differentiate cos x. I will get negative sine x. Why negative here in the bracket? Because differentiate cos x. Negative ni kat luar. Differentiate cos x dapat negative sin x. So kat sini, sin x. Negative, negative, positive. Substitute lagi. F triple prime pi is equals to sin pi. If you are using your calculator, this one suppose is 0. So yang ni tak kira. This is not considered as one term. So this is not considered as one term. So because this is 0, it's not considered as a term. So finally, the fourth derivative. Beza kali keempat. Differentiate sin x, I should get cos x. And then f, the fourth derivative, substitute pi, which is cos pi. If you are using a calculator, cos pi is negative 1. So here is our third terms. Mungkin dah setiap kali kena buat banyak macam ni ke? Because this one we get 0. Sebab kat sini kita dapat kosong. So dia tak kira lah. First term, second term, third term. Sekiranya, if here we have one value. Katakan kat sini kita dapat 1 contohnya. So sini kita stop kat sini sajalah. 1, 2 and 3. Dah cukup. Because this one, why we differentiate up until the fourth times, kali keempat, sebab kita ada 2 kosong kat sini. Sebab this one is not considered as one term because we get 0 here. So now I substitute into the formula. So here is the formula. Now I mentioned before. So fx. So if I try to rewrite the formula. Saya tulis lagi sekali formula dia. Fx is equals to fa plus f prime a over 1 factorial x minus a plus f double prime a over 2 factorial times x minus a power of 2 plus 3 factorial. And this one is what? The third derivative of 3 factorial x minus a power of 3 plus the fourth factor differentiation. So this one is the fourth derivative of 4 factorial times x minus a power of 4. So our fx, in this case, our fx kita adalah cos x. So kat depan ni kita cuma tulis cos x saja. Is equals to fa. Just now what is fa? Kita dapat fa berapa? Fa, inilah fa kita yang pertama. So we get negative 1. So that's why here we put negative 1. Plus f prime a. F prime a kita tadi dapat 0. So here 0 over 1 factorial x minus a. A kita punya a adalah pi. So x minus pi. Plus f double prime a. F double prime a is 1. So 1 over 2 factorial. If you're using your calculator, you guna calculator, 2 factorial is 2. And then x minus a is pi squared. Plus this one, f triple prime a. Beza kali ketiga tadi dapat 0. So here is 0 over 3 factorial. X minus pi cube plus the last one, which is negative 1. So negative 1 over, 3 factorial. Jika kita guna calculator tadi, 3 factorial is 6. 4 factorial. 4 shift x power of negative 1 is 24. X minus pi power of 4. So we try to simplify this one. Negative 1 plus 0 divided by anything is 0. Kosong bagi dengan apa-apa kosong. Kosong darab sini pun kosong. Plus 1 over 2 x minus pi squared. Same as this one. Plus 0. Positive, negative, negative. 1 over 24 x minus pi power of 4. So finally, so the first 3 terms. That's why kita kat sini ada 3 sebutan. Kosong ni kita tak kira lah. X minus pi squared minus 1 over 24 x minus pi power of 4 plus. So this is the first 3 term. 3 sebutan yang pertama. Cuma in this case, 0 is not included. So that's why kita kena buat sampai pembezaan kali ke-4. Barulah dapat the first 3 terms. So this is the Taylor series in the power of x minus a. If you look at this example, find the first 4 terms. Find the first 4 terms. 4 sebutan yang pertama of the Taylor series of the function of fx 1 over x at x is equals to 1. So this is our fx. Fx, I can write in the form of x power of negative 1. Sebab nanti kita nak differentiate. That's why saya tulis dalam bentuk macam ni. F over negative 1. So in this case is x is equals to 1 means that our a is equals to 1 lah. Ataupun I can write in the form of x minus 1. Okay. First step, we have our fx. Fx is equals to 1 over x, or I can write in the form of x power of negative 1. So jangan lupa first kita ganti dulu. F1. Y1 sebab x is equals to 1 kat sini. Kita punya a tu adalah 1. So here 1 over, here I substitute 1, where I get 1. So this is the first term. Inilah sebutan pertama kita. We only need 4 terms. Kita hanya perlu 4 saja. 4 terms. So the second, f prime x. Saya differentiate yang ni. If you still remember how to differentiate, kuasa ni darab ke depan and then minus 1. So here I get negative 1x power of negative 2. Negative 1, tolak lagi 1. Negative 2. Or I can write in the form of negative 1 over x squared. Don't forget, we have to substitute f prime 1. So kat sini 1 over negative 1 over 1 squared. So kat sini negative 1 per 1. Here is negative 1. Differentiate lagi. F. So here is, before that, here is our second terms. Kat sini kita tak dapat kosong. So that's why this is our second terms. We only need 4 terms. Differentiate lagi. F double prime x. The same thing. Kuasa ni darab ke depan. And then minus 1. Negative 2 times negative 1. Negative 2 darab dengan negatif 1. Dapat positif 2. X kuasa negatif 3. Or I can write in the form of 2 over x cubed. Substitute the value f double prime 1. So here in this time we have 2 over 1 cube. So 2 over 1 cube is 2 over 1. 1 kuasa 3, 1. So here is 2. Now this is our third terms. Sebutan yang ketiga. Kali ini kita tak ada yang kosong. So we continue sajalah. And then the last one. The third derivative of x. Same thing. Multiply this one to the front. And then minus 1. So negative 3 times 2. Negative 6. X power of negative 4. Or I can write in the form of negative 6 over x power of 4. Substitute the value. F triple prime 1 is equal to negative 6 over 1 power of 4. So here is negative 6. 1 power of 4 is 1. So here we get negative 6. So this is the fourth terms. That's why we stop here. Oleh itu kita berhenti kat sini. Sebab kita perlukan 4 sebutan saja. Again, if you remember the formula, it's better that each time we write out the formula. So jika boleh tiap-tiap kali kita tulis formula dia, which is fx is equals to fa plus f prime a over 1 factorial x minus a plus f double prime a over 2 factorial x minus a squared plus f triple prime a over 3 factorial x minus a power of 3. Kita stop kat sini sebab kita ada 4 term saja. So fx kita jika berdasarkan soalan is 1 over x. So fa yang pertama, fa tadi, f1 tadi kita dapat 1. So here is 1 plus f prime a. F prime a tadi negative 1. Negative 1 over 1 factorial. And then x minus a. X minus a kita adalah 1. So our a is 1. Yang ni lah x minus 1. So plus. So this one actually 1 factorial is 1. Kita boleh calculate dah. So plus f double prime a. F double prime a is 2. 2 over 2 factorial is 2. 2 factorial adalah 2. So x minus a. X minus 1 squared. Plus f triple prime a. F triple prime 1 is negative 6. So here is negative 6 over 3 factorial. By using your calculator, 3 factorial is 6. Times x minus 1 cube. So we try to simplify. 1. Negative 1 over 1 is minus. Here is become minus 1. And then x minus a plus 2 over 2 is 1 times x minus 1 squared. Plus minus. Minus. Here is 1 x minus 1 cube. Actually, we have in this one. Cuma kita perlukan 4 sebutan saja. Finally, I have 1 minus x minus 1. Because this one negative 1 times bracket is x minus 1. So plus x minus 1 squared minus x minus 1 cube. So here is the expansion, Taylor expansion up until 4 terms, the first 4 terms. So inilah jawapan dia. As a summary, first fx dulu. And then substitute the value of a. In this case, our a is 1. Differentiate, ganti nilai. Differentiate, ganti nilai. Differentiate, and then substitute the value. How many terms is based on the question. Soalan dia akan minta 4 terms ke, 3 terms ke. The question will ask. So this is how we do. And then the most important thing, please remember this formula. So it's much easier if you remember the formula. So setiap kali dia Taylor series, kita tulis formula ni. Tak rugi. It will help you to remember. So here is the example 1. In the next example, I'll show you where we need to substitute the value. Ini example yang pertama. Nanti saya akan tunjuk example di mana kita kena ganti nilai. So depan sama. Only the second part of the question, we have to substitute the value.